The Vatican has released a new book of guidelines for exorcisms conducted by Catholic priests. It says being an exorcist is a ministry of joy, light, and peace. With more details on these guidelines is Hannah Brockhaus, senior Rome correspondent for Catholic News Agency. Hannah, welcome back to the show. First off, how does the Catholic Church define an exorcism?
Well, Tracy, very simply put, exorcism is a prayer of the Church against the power of the devil. There are different kinds of exorcism prayers. Probably what most people think of when they hear exorcism is what is known as the major exorcism rite, which is when a priest or bishop says these special prayers of the rite to depossess someone of a demon.
So what do these new exorcism guidelines say, and why exactly were they released now?
Well, these guidelines, or this book, was released after a process of several years. There were some revisions to the exorcism rite, and there were questions that exorcists had in different parts of the world. So this book is a response to those questions. One of the main subjects of the book, although it covers a lot of topics related to the ministry of an exorcist, is that of discernment. And that is because demonic possession is actually quite rare. There are many types of demonic activity in the world, but the actual possession is rare, and it requires a lot of discernment on the part of any priest who is encountering someone in their parish with problems that they think could be related to that. And then for the exorcist priest as well, discernment to realize, is this really what's going on with someone, or could it be something caused by natural causes? So that's something that they'll look into, and that's something the book addresses.
Hannah, does the book address any common misconceptions that people may have about exorcisms?
Yes, in fact, one of the main misconceptions it refers to in the introduction to the guide is that of kind of the Western view, the view you might see in a film, Hollywood movie, for example, of this kind of dark, mysterious, very kind of negative characteristic. And instead, in the introduction to the guide, it talks about how exorcism is actually a positive thing, and how these prayers, when done by the proper exorcist with prudence, with the church, and with faith in God, then how this experience of exorcism can actually be one of positivity, of light, of peace, and of joy as well. There's also the misconception that exorcism is almost like kind of an anti-magic. It's something that's kind of on the same level as the occult or magic that is supposed to contradict it, while instead that is absolutely not true. So this guide clears that up as well, that it is not on the same plane. It is not a magic against magic, but is a prayer which comes from God and is against the power of the devil.
Well, Hannah, thanks so much for coming on. We always appreciate your insight. Hannah Brockhaus, senior Rome correspondent for Catholic News Agency. Thanks again, Hannah.
You're welcome.